Hey, good morning, good morning, Facebook family. Hope all is well. Hope you had a great weekend. Um, Getting ready to attack another day. Last night, got a chance to spend some time with some of two of the greatest friends, brothers that a brother could ever have. Just talking about life, talking about reestablishing ourselves, uh, how to position ourselves better, uh, all kinds of things to give food for thought. It's always good to be empowered by other people and for people to give you some food for thought because we got to renew ourselves on a daily basis. I want to give a big shout out to a couple people that are doing some amazing things, and I appreciate them across the board. Big shout out to E. Jones with City Legends. Um, Glad everything worked out over the weekend, man. Doing major things in the Bronx and in the city of New York. You're my brother, you're my man, and I'm just so grateful to be a major partner with you. Um, Also wanted to shout out Rodney Carr. Those are some strong words that you presented to me and I guess to the social media family. Uh, we all, man, are trying to, continue to be on that front line or be on that starting lineup of life to give back, serve, and be better. You know, I got my glasses on today. Believe it or not, I need reading glasses. I've been having these glasses, I guess, reading for, last year and a half or so. I was in denial, thinking I didn't need them to read. But I guess because you get older, things start uh, leaving you. That's why you got to continue to reinvent yourself on a daily basis. But while I was reading, I just thought about how many of us are transitioning through our lives on so many different levels. And I'm always trying to be empowered by people's experiences. I'm trying to learn what makes people tick, what makes people evolve, what's some of the challenges that people were faced with as they overcome certain things in their life. How do they deal with adversity? What's some of those people that trailblazed before us? What were some of the sacrifices that had to be made? What were some of the setbacks that they had to go through? And what are we intrigued by? What are we encouraged by? What moves us as individuals? I think that's part of major situations that we're dealing with here in life as it relates to our inner self. So my message is, what makes us thrive in life? You know, what do we take ownership in? What do we believe that we have a willingness to make sure that we go all the way with whatever we're a part of? I come to learn that the world evolves and it changes in so many different ways, and we're moved by certain superficial things that we put so much emphasis on. Some of us are moved by status. Some of us are moved by competition. Some of us are moved by uh, scars that we've gotten, some abuse that we've gotten when we were young. Some of us are moved by hate. That thrives us. Our children, uh, when we see them, it makes us thrive. We have so many different ways of wanting to thrive in life. But we never talk about thriving in the spirit. And that's something that I'm working on each and every day. You know, What does the Spirit say to me as it relates to me thriving? You know, that spirit is a powerful thing, because when you're not locked into the Spirit, it really gets you to be bumped off a line on your assignment. You know, God works through us on so many different levels. I can remember as a young person and as a kid, because I was influenced by certain things that was around me. And when you're that tender age of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, you're a sponge, and you're trying to figure out uh, where do you fit in the society. And I can remember that my aunts and my my grandparents and everybody, like, you got to know God, and you got to go to church, and you got to do this and you got to do that. And I was always confused, and I was always trying to figure out, like, what did all that mean? And this is what I'm talking about, the power of thriving within the Spirit. So God was working on me when I didn't even understand and I didn't even know. And I was making all these crazy different choices and decisions, and was influenced by all these different things. And I thought I was thriving in life because my academics were so, or I was doing well in sports, or people said I was cool, or whatever that was. You start being fed by that. And then you thought you had to have the finer things, and you had to look nice, and you had to be this way, and you had to say things a certain way, and you had to do this and do that. And see, all these elements are being presented to you at a young age. And I'm not even knowing anything about my spirituality. I'm not even knowing anything. All I know is I have a conscience, and all I know is there's good seeds and bad seeds, and they're fighting with each other. But I don't know that because no one is teaching me how to understand that. And what is important for my life, I don't know. And I think many of us didn't understand that that's what we were going. And then some of us did go to church, and some of us did find God, or some of us, found their spirituality from somewhere else. But it almost was like the blind leading the blind, because what are their preparation? How are they living their lives? Are they just going by what they heard, and they just being a dictator of that and feeding you that? But what are the examples? How are things being put in place as it relates to the family? Do you know how to be a husband? Do you know how to be a wife? Do you know how to be an obedient child or a kid? Do you know how to be an aunt, an uncle? These things that we take for granted, that we just feel like we hold these titles, we don't even know how to thrive in it, because we don't understand the spiritual consciousness of why we're here. So I did not know that as a youngster. I appreciate you, Sharon. I love you so much, baby. Thank you so much for, just doing my best, babe. Doing my best. But these are some of the things that I think we lose sight of. And it makes us, work in this anarchy lifestyle. So I had to fall on my face several times. And God was working on me when I didn't even know. He was protecting me and covering me when I didn't even know. When my friends got killed in front of me, when certain things was happening, I was in fights, and I was in the clubs doing this and that, dealing with women wrong, in terms of fornicating and sleeping around with all these different women, just doing stuff that learned behavior because it was told to me that was cool. And then God spares you through all of that. And then he tries to get you to understand the power, and he leads you, and you reject him. He leads you again, and you reject. And then the Spirit's talking to you, and you reject. And then you go this way, and you go that way. And it's just a constant battle. And then sometimes God got to sit you down. Sometimes tragedy got to happen. Sometimes things that's close to you are taken away. But what is our spiritual context of thriving in the right fashion? And I come to realize Some of us are 49 and 50 years old, and we still trying to figure that out. We still trying to figure it out. And we're just existing. We're just going through the emotions, waking up every day, and we still don't know. And I can tell because when I deal with people, it's like somebody told me the other day, we sending our representative, and that kind of tickled me. I heard it a different kind of way, but it's like sending your representative and living in your own hypocrisy. It's like hidden hypocrisy. And then I had to look at myself like, wow, man, I've been a hypocrite for years. And wow, it's something about revealing your truth. I said this in another message, man. The truth is undefeated. The truth is undefeated. You can't, you can go hide behind it. You can be in denial. You can go and blame this and make excuse of that and this, that, and other. We are who we are. And we got to learn to understand that. What changes are we going to make to thrive? What makes us thrive? Do we understand the core values of thriving? And what is our true actual mission to thrive? Some of us feel like we got to do things because people tell us to do. Sometimes we feel like we got to do something because it seems to be easy because they're doing. You got to lay in your own stuff. And you got to be able to understand. You are a work in progress. And what are you willing to do to add to your life and thrive within your spirituality? Because the Spirit tells you where you're supposed to be. The Spirit tells you how you're supposed to deal. The problem is, if you're thinking this way and everyone else is somewhere else, the connection is not there. So when you're communicating, you cannot even communicate effectively because a person's rationale, a person where they are in their thought process, cannot even relate to what you're saying because they're not working on their individual selves. See, that's the part about the one spirit, the one body, the one calling, the oneness that God speaks to. We all have to work on our individual selves. And when we work on our individual selves, we understand our assignment. We understand where we are spiritually. We understand our roles in life as it relates to whoever we are. Then when we talk and we communicate, everybody understands the accountability. Anybody can sit on the sideline with an opinion. Anybody can sit back and say, man, you wrong, or I remember when you did this back in 1979. But we're talking about fish right now. We're talking about lettuce right now. Why are you bringing up apples and oranges? See, these are those dysfunctional ways that we want to have an out and a scapegoat. And how in the world can you thrive in that manner? We have to look at our situations for what they are. Like right now, I'm dealing with a ton of stuff. And I got to face it. And I got to walk through it. And I understand that this is where I am. And, people going to have their views on this. And people going to have their views on that. And people going to say I should be doing this. And people going to say I should be doing that. But I'm sitting down every day with that time to say, God, where do you want me to be? How do you want me to deal? What is it that you want me to do? And the more I do that, He leads me to open my eyes to certain things. He gets me to understand why people are doing the things that they're doing, why people are in this space. You have to understand, y'all. The only way you can thrive in this world and be aligned properly is that you have to be aligned to the Spirit. Because remember, when I speak to the Spirit, there's two different spirits. There's the good spirit where you align with God. And then there's the evil spirit. And you know what that alignment is. Your flesh will always fail you. The desires will always fail you. because you have to understand there's a thing called balance. And in that balance, you have to have a certain discipline. So again, I'm not talking at nobody. I'm not trying to say my way is the, I'm just telling you things are happening to me, good and bad. And I know that everything that's happening to me, within me, and was for me, it's going to make me better because I got to stay in the fight. My father said something to me the other day. It was so simple, but again, when your spirit works a certain kind of way, you don't take things as if they're verbatim or like they're just simple. You broaden it because you know that it has layers and substance to what's being said to you. So he says, I'm talking to him about some of my challenges. I'm going through certain things. I'm, decision making and, responsibilities from within me and a lot of major stuff coming down the pipe and just all this stuff that, dealing with relationships and, all. And he said, son, he said, man, listen, at the end of the day, we have this thing called life. And you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days. But at the end of the day, just be a good human being. And when you be a good human being and your intentions are always pure like they've been, everything else takes care of itself. Have patience, but be diligent in your work. And always treat people with the utmost respect and love and want the best for others. And stay out people's way that don't, or I apologize, that's not going or not aligned the way you're aligned. And let them be. Don't judge. Don't be negative. Just remain positive and keep trying to do the best you can to do what's right. And I was like, wow, man. At the end of the day, those some fundamental principles that we've been taught as little kids. And can we maintain that in our adulthood? So I close out by saying, thank you all. A lot of you came on this line this morning. I'm forever grateful, when people take their time to hear what you have to say. Some of great influential people that is on this live feed that I look to, in the highest light, and forever grateful for the gems that you've dropped me and the teachings and the experiences that you've given me in my life. I just hope and pray that we learn to embrace and celebrate each other and pray for each other. Tomorrow's not promised to any of us. During these holidays, I know we're big on the holiday thing. It's not that I'm a party pooper on a holiday piece, but it just amazes me how we put so much effort on these holidays when I know the God that we serve is like every day is a holiday. Every day we have to continue to build and love and cherish every moment and want the best for each and every day and put that same energy every day like we do the holidays. That's something for me. Yes, I embrace it because I love to see family. I love to embrace family. But I just think that if you don't have money or you're struggling, is this day lost? Do we have a bad day because we couldn't get the gift we wanted, or we couldn't give the gifts that we wanted to give to people? I just think that, we have to be careful, and that's what I'm speaking about with that spirit. That spirit has to talk a different way to us, or we have to listen and identify the spirit a little bit different. So please, y'all, hug on somebody, love on somebody. I will send a message on Christmas, which is a Wednesday. I love you all. I appreciate you all so much. Remember, hug somebody, kiss somebody, be positive to somebody. Remember, your attitude is everything. Bring that energy, that great spirit, and that awesome vibe. And remember, thrive in life, y'all. Thrive. And the key to thriving is the spirit. Take care, everybody. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for me being a little long-winded this morning. Wish y'all the best. Take care. Be safe.